I don't know who you are today, but you don't have any business messing with them. You don't have any business messing with them. Hello, welcome to the channel. All honor, glory, and praise be to our one and only Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Although all men, meaning women included, are created equal, that doesn't mean that there are not different classes of people. And I'm not talking about as it pertains to finances, but I'm talking about character. I'm talking about people that you have things in common with. Your conversation is their conversation. You're like-minded. You have the same interests. You have the same, perhaps, level of intellect. Your mannerisms are similar. Just people that you have things in common with. But when you are in environments or circumstances or situations, perhaps, where you are interacting or perhaps not interacting, but you are around the opposite of who you are, you're not supposed to be messing with them. If there are those of you out there, you are around drama starters, you're not supposed to be dealing with them. I wouldn't even want a drama starter to speak to me. When you see people that have obtained a large amount of success, and I'm talking about people that are shown up in the public eye, you don't see them, I don't think, go back to where they grew up at to live a lot of times, or interact with people that they left behind, or people that they knew were no good, or people that tried to put them down and this and that and the third because they saw their potential and that served as a threat to their enemies. You don't reach back. You can, but I'm just saying, I wouldn't recommend anybody reach back to something that they left behind, because if it was left behind, there's a reason why it's back there. And it is no different than even out in society, even out in the world today, or workplaces or anywhere. There are certain people that you are not supposed to associate with. I'm not saying if you are a believer, don't love them with the love of Christ. You're supposed to love everybody. But that doesn't mean mingle with everybody. There's a lot of jealousy out there in this world. I don't feel like you would see somebody that has the status of a doctor go hang out with people that are doing all sorts of things and hanging out in an alley. That is not his clique. That is not her fit. You have to get in where you fit in. And a lot of times you may be in environments where you just don't fit in. And if it is a negative, unprofessional environment, you should be mighty glad that you don't. And like I said, it's not to say that anybody is created any better in substance than anybody else. But I feel like there are many of us that know that there are different types of people in this world as it pertains to character, as it pertains to intelligence or the lack thereof, as it pertains to people that are petty and people that nitpick and people that are narcissistic and people that are drama starters. You need to stay away from those types of people, and they can be found in every work environment. People that are just not on your level. And it may not be everybody, but I guarantee you it's probably somebody. And the thing that I've noticed about narcissistic people is that they will come off on you wrong. And then when you respond to their disrespect, they'll look at you like you're the one that's wrong for standing up for yourself. Let me tell you something, whoever you are out there. always stand up for yourself, but make sure that you do it professionally. You cannot control a toxic environment, but you can control yourselves. You cannot get rid of narcissistic people in a lot of environments, but you can make sure that you maintain and remain who you are and stay true to character, and that you remain a decent and morally upright person. You've got to understand that you don't have to kiss anybody's behind. You don't have to cheese up and grin up to anybody. A lot of people act like that you are supposed to be grinning in their faces. That's a narcissist that always feels like that the world or other individuals are there to cater to them. Like, oh, if you don't kiss their butt, then something's wrong with you. No. Always remain true to yourselves. Because one thing I realize about narcissistic people, meaning people that gaslight or try to gaslight other people to come out of character, that's why it's very important to have self-control and know who you are. One thing I realize about them is that they always like to manipulate situations, and I don't know if it's initially what I was going to say, but they always like to manipulate situations and circumstances, and they always like to reverse the script. They like to flip the script to try to paint you as the bad guy. So what will those types of people do? If there are other people that are your admirers, they'll go around and say, oh, well, he's fake or she's fake. And they don't even know you. And they definitely don't know you like that. People who you don't even, perhaps you speak to or you don't speak to, but just because you put them in their place, or just because you didn't take no mess off of them, or just because you stood your ground in their presence, now they want to say you're fake when you're nice to other people, when the fact is you're not fake. You're just too real for them to handle, because you're real with other people and you were real with them when you put them in their place. I think I'm talking to somebody out there. Oh, just because you didn't take junk off of them, now you're fake. No, you're standing your ground as you should as an adult, whoever you are out there. So I feel like that once you know what a narcissist is, they're easy to spot, because they're always somewhere shooting their big mouth off trying to gaslight somebody. And then when they get put in their places as they ought to be, they want to call you fake. Show them something real. Cut them off for good.